Hi everyone, my name is Saib Marif, and today I'd like to share a bit of my journey, and I hope it inspires perhaps all or some of you that are struggling through your primary or even secondary and perhaps your tertiary education. So recently, one of my Instagram posts back in 2016 sort of blew up, and a lot of people were asking me about the experiences that I had to go through in achieving what I currently have right now, which is master's degree. Here's my journey, and I hope you guys enjoy my stories. So yeah, recently this was the Instagram post that sort of blew up out of nowhere. So this was the picture that sort of blew up. Took this photo when I arrived 1A. That was a statement, and at that time enrolled to UCL. The journey, the struggles, and the other picture was a picture of myself, a younger self of mine, 2 years or 3 years before that picture was taken, when I had visited UCL. So brought me back down memory lane because when I took the picture, I was like, macam mana lah nak pergi belajar dekat university macam ni. Can I do it? Was I capable? But Alhamdulillah, I think Allah had eased the journey, and you just have to believe in kun fayakun. What's meant to be will always be in your life. Never give up and always move forward. I was quite surprised on how a picture of me holding, that 1A statement on a piece of paper in front of the library of UCL had made such perhaps an impact to a lot of people. I was just saying that, today I'm starting class at University College London for a master's degree in engineering for international development, to share to all of the students and everyone back at home that if you didn't do well in your SPM, it's not the end of the world. You need to keep on trying because you cannot let yourself down on the things that has gone by. Always look forward. And there's a saying from my favorite band, Coldplay: if you never try, you'll never know. And additionally, the people that came across the post stating that SPM is not everything, bukan segala-galanya. Too many comments that had impacted me in many ways in fueling my drive to finish what I had started in pursuing my tertiary education. It was in the period of when usually SPM leavers would get their SPM results. So perhaps people would like to get inspired by stories that were not from the normal norm. So I'm going to tell you a bit of my story of how, believe it or not, I got only 1A for my SPM. And Alhamdulillah, through my perseverance and my hard work, I graduated from one of the best universities in the world, in University College London. I wasn't a very smart student, be it in primary, secondary, or even, for example, I could give you an example of, my UPSR was like 1A, 2As. My PMR was like 2As, 3, I can't remember. My SPM was only 1A. I had gotten 1A, 2Bs, 4Cs, and 2D, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, definitely, I was devastated at the time. Of course, being a student that wanted to um, excel in education in your primary or even secondary. You wanted to make your parents proud, but sometimes you don't perform, or even it was hard for you to perform. And I remembered, my mother was saying that it's okay. Sometimes people are late boomers, and perhaps I might be one of them. She was the driving force in supporting my struggles through getting at a level where I didn't even imagine at that time. So yeah, I started off after my SPM having 1As. Of course, it was a very devastating time for me because I had friends who scored straight A's. Alhamdulillah for them. I had friends who were uh, who scored 6 A's, 4 A's, 2 A's, but generally better than me. But then I thought, what's next? What can I do, to make my parents proud? So at that time, you had to apply through UPU and whatnot through many universities. And Alhamdulillah, at that time, I wanted to be Tony Stark. I did a diploma in mechanical engineering at the University Technology Mara Pulau Pinang, way up north. In Islam, we call it, you have to hijrah and also ikra. Hijrah means you have to go through the journey, go to other places, learn new cultures, learn new, be in a new environment. And ikra is basically learn, continue to learn. So in life, I think my mantra has always been about learning, even though your past has always been, not for everyone, but for some people, it might not be the best version that they want to uh, bring about. So at that time, of course, my expectations were pretty much normal. I wanted to just finish my diploma, and perhaps if I get an opportunity, I would like to further my studies to do a degree. So fast forward, semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, things were normal. I had ups and downs. Normally, I think that's normal for everyone to have ups and downs in their quest for education. Through the journey, of course, it teaches you on how to improve yourself in terms of time management skills, or even how do you learn, how does your brain work. I think in semester 5, I was very itchy. We call it gata tangan, in wanting to apply for an overseas university. Um, as an engineer, a mechanical engineer, an obvious dream was to study overseas, and at perhaps one of the best universities in the world. For example, let's say Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That was my dream growing up, in wanting to further my studies at a better, a more prestige university, in wanting to make my parents proud. Um, and at the time, my qualifications didn't meet the expectations of some universities that I applied to, which at that time I think I contacted a local education agency. It was called Interstudy. I remember clearly, one of the education advisors, Miss Fiona. She was looking for universities for me. Some of the options were, I think, Northumbria, Southampton, but there was one particular university that caught my eye, which was Brunel University. It was a university in West London, um, and I applied. And Alhamdulillah, I got an unconditional offer letter from the university. However, of course, at that time, I didn't come from a well-off family, so I couldn't decide there and then on whether would I get to go or not. So that, be in mind, that was in semester 5. Um, And I think later towards progressing, throughout the year, um, I was looking for ways of how can I pay for my tuition fees, for my cost of living fees over there. And I kept on applying for many loans, study loans that are convertible. And Alhamdulillah, at that time, I came across the MARA scheme pinjaman pelajar, which at that time, I guess they were open for people who wanted to pursue tertiary education overseas. And it was sort of, a second chance for me. And coincidentally as well, not a lot of people applied for that scheme at that time. I don't know what was the current scheme of things. I didn't know what were people thinking of. But yeah, I applied. And a few months later, Alhamdulillah, I think in semester 6, or even after semester 6 when I finished, if I'm not mistaken, I think in the month of June, yeah, in the month of June or even May, I had gotten a confirmation from MARA stating that I was approved of the study loan. In September, I flew off to London, so it was sort of a miracle for me get that opportunity. So there I was, 20, 20, 21-year-old student who just had finished his diploma. And I didn't have any friends over there overseas. I had a few friends that were going overseas with me as well, such as Kashidi at that time. He was going to Northumbria. But other than that, I didn't have sort of a group of friends, such as the people that studied in KYUEM or even the College Maras. I didn't have that group of friends at the time. So it was, of course, something out of the norm for me. It was, you had to hijrah to another man's land, of course, and without knowing what was on the other side of the world. You had to meet new friends and whatnot, meet new people. So I went, and Alhamdulillah, I got my degree in 2 years at Brunel University. But of course, the journey wasn't smooth. After my bachelor's degree, I came back for a year, and a year I worked in the civil service for about 10 months. But in the month of April, um, I was itching again to further my studies again, despite having that bachelor's degree. So then I applied for a master's degree. But at that time, I wanted to challenge myself in applying at the better university. I wanted to make my parents proud at that time. So there was a few universities, but at the end of the day, I chose to apply for University College London. And for at that time, the university was, I think, number 7 in the world. It is a prestigious university, and for you to apply, you needed to pay, like, I think, £75, which was about 400 ringgit, 350 ringgit at that time. So it was quite a lot of money for someone who just started working. But yeah, I took the challenge and I applied. But at that time, and I think in the month of May or June, after a month or two after that, they replied to me with an unconditional offer letter again. And Alhamdulillah, I was surprised by the outcome, because I didn't thought that someone with a normal background in their secondary education, a normal coming from a normal university, could even be accepted to perhaps one of the most prestigious universities in the world. There I was, another journey that I had to go through. Alhamdulillah, at that time, my quest for funding was easing as well. So yeah, in September 2016, I flew off back to London for another year with uncertain times ahead, but in a more familiar environment. One thing that I can share to all of you, in life, it's better to take risk rather than not taking any. Because the first step I took, for example, when I was doing my diploma, the first step I took was to basically apply. You know, throughout my observation in life, um, the best first thing that you can do is dream. The second best thing that you can do is take action. For all students that are like me, one message that I can share to you is to never give up. Because when you give up, you will never achieve your dreams. You only need to try. Even that, if you fail, that is if you fail, you will always have a second chance in learning new things, in gaining and obtaining knowledge. So to all of you, anyone that wants to pursue tertiary education, be it if you just finish your SPM, or you are doing your diploma or even your degree, um, don't give up on your dreams in acquiring knowledge, going through the process of education. Never give up, and always be optimistic in what you want to do in your life. Because 7 years ago, I made a decision to challenge myself in getting out of my comfort zone. And Alhamdulillah, I think throughout my journey, it has showed me that action speaks louder than words. And for all of you who are searching for your path, for your purpose in life, it's okay. It's okay to question yourself. But of course, at the end of the day, you need to take action. And Alhamdulillah, through my journey, even though I'm not the best student, having only 1 A's for my SPM, which is a big deal in Malaysia, because usually if you do not excel in your SPM, you would not either get a chance to further your tertiary education at a good university or even overseas, unless your parents have a lot of money and can pay for your tuition fees and cost of living over there. But for the normal Malaysian who can't afford such, studying overseas isn't even an option. Of course, local universities are also good in Malaysia. I have to admit that my time in UiT Pulau Pinang during my diploma days helped molded me to become the person that I am today. Alhamdulillah. But the experiences that I gained over there helped me understand more of what we can achieve in the world, in what we want to do collectively. Hence, I call upon everyone who's watching this video to always write down your dreams on a piece of paper. Always plan ahead in doing what you want to do in life, and do not let anybody tell you that you can't do something, because at the end of the day, you can actually do something to change your life and to make your parents proud. And I hope this sharing has given you all some sort of inspiration in striving towards your dreams, your aspirations. And should you need any advice, or even someone to talk to, in trying to figure out your journey in education, feel free to reach out to me. I'll try my best to talk to you all, but I hope this gives you some inspiration in achieving your dreams for the future. Thank you, and Assalamualaikum.